Psilocybin specifically has been around and used for thousands of years in other cultures, but it doesn't really make it on the scene in the West until the 1950s. That's when a man named R. Gordon Wasson, a banker and amateur mycologist, travels to Oaxaca, Mexico, and convinces a local shaman, a woman named María Sabina, to provide him with the medicine so that he can journey. He comes back to the United States around 1957 and writes an explosive article in Life magazine that really introduced psilocybin as a psychedelic onto the main stage. This article also brings a lot of unwanted attention and interest to both María Sabina and the part of the world that she comes from. From there, psilocybin is synthesized in the lab by Albert Hofmann, who happened to be also the scientist who discovered LSD in the 1930s. And that's the starting point for a lot of experimentation and research in psychedelics that continues on through the 1960s. You have people like Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert at Harvard who do a lot of work with LSD. And then for a period of time, things go underground due to the war on drugs. And there's also some cultural and social stigma around psychedelics and substances in general. It's not until the early 2000s that research really starts up again. There's some studies at UCLA, studies looking at end-of-life distress for terminally ill patients. And this kind of introduces at least psilocybin, the other psychedelics, back in a way into our cultural awareness in a way that they've been dormant for a while. I do want to mention that things didn't go so well for María Sabina for a little while. People in her community and authorities in Oaxaca in general weren't happy with the attention they were getting. There were people kind of descending down into this area and demanding kind of access to this medicine. It's a little bit of a sad story in the sense that for a little while, María Sabina was ostracized from her community. But I mention this because it's important that we remember her and remember how in the West in particular, we gained access to these medicines and where they come from. It's really important as you start your own preparation and perhaps intention setting to remember Maria and other healers who have played a role and who will play a role in your own healing. Remember and perhaps offer some gratitude to Maria, the challenges that she and others have faced in the modern acquisition of these medicines.